are your valuable assets. Call me today, Michael Webster, at 925-5433.
UWI Open Campus, on-site, online, and on demand.
Visit open.uwi.edu. Call them today at 946-8322.
Super Jam.
Also brought to you by
Cayman Airways. Call them at 949-2311 to book your non-stop flights to Los Angeles and Panama.
And Coca-Cola. Available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola.
The #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery. Inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice. JN Money. From abroad to Yad. And Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Wednesday, the 4th day of February 2026, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on our roads, and our roads may be a little bit wet this morning. I believe there's some precipitation coming down as well. So if you are on our roads, be you a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road, because the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, or if you celebrated one over the past few days, we want to wish you a happy birthday or a happy belated birthday, whichever is applicable. And to remind you that the For the Record birthday shoutouts brought to you by Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, proud to support your For the Record birthday shoutouts. You can enter the Coca-Cola contest for your chance to win a VIP cinema viewing of the Patriots and Seahawks. Pick up your Coca-Cola 8-pack today and enter to win. And of course, the date for the Super Bowl, February 8th, this coming Sunday, February 8th as well. So you can enter the Coca-Cola contest for your chance to win a VIP cinema viewing of the Patriots and Seahawks. Pick up your Coca-Cola 8-pack today and enter to win. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we want to wish you a speedy recovery. I want to give a big shout out this morning to my friend, Mr. Alan Moore, who celebrated his birthday on January the 23rd as well. Give a big shout out to him. You know that he's listening in. Also, our colleague here at Radio Cayman, Mr. Joel Wilson as well. Big shout out to Mr. Joel. So let's look at some of the birthdays taking place. We first of all want to send a happy belated birthday to Mr. Kevin Rivers over in the Brack. He celebrated his birthday yesterday, and happy belated birthday greetings are coming from all of your friends at Radio Cayman, and we want to thank you for being a faithful listener and a fan of Radio Cayman as well. So thank you very much, Mr. Kevin Rivers, and we hope and we trust that you enjoyed your birthday yesterday. We have other birthdays that we want to look at as well. Just bear with me there. Here we go. Okay. So today we see Mr. Ruel Wood celebrating his birthday today. Tomorrow, the Minister, Honorable Ralston Anglin, will be celebrating his birthday tomorrow. Also, Miss Liana Latonia Jarvis celebrating a birthday tomorrow. Miss Ruby McLaughlin celebrating a birthday tomorrow. And Rondell Positive, I guess that's some sort of a gospel reggae singer, that is. Okay. Rondell Positive celebrating birthday tomorrow as well. The Honorable Chris Saunders will be celebrating his birthday on Friday, the 6th of February. Miss Kim Bullins will celebrate hers on the 15th of February, Sunday, 15th of February, so still a little ways to go there. And then Mr. Lenford Wilkes will celebrate his on the Tuesday, the 17th of February. On the 20th of February, Mr. Lloyd Mills will be celebrating his birthday. Those of you who frequented Uncle Bill's, especially in the bike section, several years ago, Mr. Lloyd Mills was, before he immigrated to the U.S., he was the bike mechanic at Uncle Bill's, as well. Still keeps in contact with cyclists here as well, and I believe the Kingston to Negril ride, he has participated in that on several occasions as well, where he has the opportunity to meet up with Caymanian cyclists. Mr. Honorable Linford Ainsworth Pearson will be celebrating his birthday on February the 24th as well. So we want to give a big shout out to all of those persons celebrating their birthdays. If you know someone who's celebrating a birthday or any other momentous occasion, please share that information with us right here on For the Record, and we will give them a birthday shout out. I believe I have another one here. We're asked to send belated birthday wishes to my beloved nephew, Simon, otherwise JJ. Greetings coming from his family. Lots of love. So happy belated birthday greetings going out to Simon, also known as JJ, and those belated birthday greetings coming from your entire family with lots of love. And again, folks, to remind you that the For the Record birthday shoutouts brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shoutouts. You are invited to enter the Coca-Cola contest for your chance to win a VIP cinema viewing of the Patriots and Seahawks game. You can pick up your Coca-Cola 8-pack today and at the same time enter to win as well. Let's see what's in our news this morning. Let's take a look at some of the local news. The Caymanian Compass, business greet government's EID card with cautious optimism. Work on historic schooner may be finished in Cayman. That'll be interesting to see. Crime Stoppers has rewards ready to claim by tipsters. You would have heard Ms. Carsley Fuller on our news this morning talking about that as well. And another article here, Shazam for birds used to pinpoint the beauty of Cayman's bird song. So here's what we're going to look at. This article in relation to government working on national cancer policy. This was put out yesterday, but it was embargoed until 7 o'clock this morning. And it says that World Cancer Day is an international observation celebrated on the 4th of February to raise awareness about cancer, encourage its prevention, and mobilize action to address the global cancer epidemic. This is a quote, start of the quote, "Cancer prevention, treatment, and care is a top priority for me and the NCFC government." That was a quote coming from Honorable Catherine Ebanks-Wilkes, Minister for Health, Environment, and Sustainability. As persons who are living with cancer, those who have survived it, and the numerous healthcare professionals, caretakers, and family members impacted by cancer know this work is year-round. World Cancer Day provides us with an opportunity to focus on this specific issue holistically, and it is an optimal time to discuss what is being done and how it will serve our community in our fight against cancer. The burden of non-communicable diseases, known by the acronym NCDs, in general, and that of cancer in particular, is both well known and felt within our community. Cancer is the second leading cause of death in the Cayman Islands after cardiovascular disease. The results of the STEPS 2023 National Health Survey, which provide nationally representative data for risk factors for non-communicable diseases, also provided important information relating to the preventative action and access to care. For example, 32% of the population eligible for cervical screening, that is women aged 25 to 49 years, have never been screened. I'm going to repeat that. The example that the Minister, Honorable Catherine Ebanks-Wilkes, gives is 32% of the population, that's Cayman's population, which is eligible for cervical screening. Those who are eligible, they are women aged 25 to 49 years, have never been screened. And only 30% of the men between the ages of 18 to 69 report ever having a prostate examination. Folks, we have to do better if we care about ourselves. We continue to hear people talking about the fact that so many Caymanians are dying, and I'm sure that there are other persons dying in the Cayman Islands who may not be Caymanians, and we don't hear about their deaths, as well. But we hear about so many people dying in the Cayman Islands. But folks, we have to be proactive. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to have our checks done. We have to participate in these screenings that will help you to be aware of what your particular condition may be. Here's a further quote, "As we are committed to taking a data-informed approach to the creation of policies, legislation, and public health programming, The STEPS data has helped to shape the forthcoming national cancer policy. The updating of the Cancer Registry Bill, as well as specific public health campaigns such as the HPV cancer prevention vaccination drive, Minister Ebanks-Wilkes adds. The National Cancer Policy, which is in its final stages of review and approval, outlines the national framework for the implementation, monitoring, evaluation, and oversight of cancer screening programs across the Cayman Islands. It adopts cancer quality standards and guidelines to establish standardized care pathways to guide practitioners and ensure consistency in the delivery of care. Quote goes on to say, this policy will establish a clear national framework for organized cancer screening, quality assurance, and continuous improvement. That was a quote from Chief Medical Officer Dr. Hilary Wolfe. The policy will be reviewed and updated as evidence advances, technologies develop, and local capacity grows. Here's another quote. Our aim is simple. We want to ensure that wherever patients are getting treated, they are receiving timely and coordinated care from initial screening all the way through diagnosis and treatment. That was another quote coming from Minister Ebanks-Wilkes. The Cancer Registry Act, which is in its initial drafting stages, will help to enable national collection of cancer-related data to inform cancer prevention, treatment, and care within the Cayman Islands. A comprehensive population-based cancer registry would systematically capture information on cancer incidence, type, stage of diagnosis, treatment, and survival. We do not currently have a national cancer registry, Dr. Wolfe adds. Without one, we cannot accurately measure incidence, track trends over time, or fully understand where prevention and early detection efforts should be focused. That is why establishing a national cancer registry is a priority for the ministry. A registry is not just about numbers, it is about knowledge that saves lives. It allows us to guide policy, improve clinical practice, and ensure resources are directed where they are needed most. This will be done with the utmost respect for data protection, with strong privacy safeguards, clear governance, and public trust at its core. We all have stories about cancer, Minister Ebanks-Wilkes says, and the quote continues, there is a perception in our community that the incidence of cancer in Cayman is high, above average high at that. Yet, we lack the data to be able to know for sure. The first step to taking meaningful action is understanding what exactly we are dealing with, and that is what this registry will provide us, the ability to take decisive action that can help to save potential lives. Lastly, the ministry continues its work to support the public health cancer prevention initiative through the community and school-based HPV vaccination efforts. Human papillomavirus is linked to cervical, anal, penile, vulval, vaginal, and some types of mouth, throat, head, and neck cancers. The HPV vaccine, which is heavily promoted in September and October each year as a partnership with the Cayman Islands Cancer Society and the Public Health Department, is actually available around here. Folks, I have to pause there. I will share with you the remainder of this press release as soon as we return. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Mary Jeanette Bodden, 1861 to 1934.
Mary Jeanette was the first trained midwife in Bodden Town. She was trained by Commissioner George S.S. Hurst, a medical doctor who issued her a certificate of completion of her training. She was noted in town for her strict regimen of hygiene, and she delivered numerous healthy babies throughout the district, staying with the mother and caring for her baby for 9 days after the birth. She herself was the mother of 11 children, 3 of whom she lost to typhoid epidemics before the arrival of Commissioner Hurst. On the Commissioner's frequent weekend visits to Bodden Town, Mary Jeanette and her husband Henry provided transportation for him, as Henry was a mail carrier and owned a horse and buggy.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way, positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Hey, new drivers. Don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Football fans, get ready! The biggest game of the year, Patriots versus the Seahawks. And Coca-Cola is giving you the chance to watch it like a true VIP. Purchase any Coca-Cola 8-pack at ShopRite, McRoss, and participating Rubis or Esso stations. And enter to win an exclusive VIP cinema viewing experience. 15 lucky winners will enjoy the big game on the biggest screen in Cayman. With Dolby surround sound, food and adult beverages included. Don't just watch the game, experience it. Grab your Coca-Cola 8-pack today and enter to win. This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Before I go back to share with you the press release in relation to World Cancer Day issued by the Honorable Catherine Ebanks Wilkes, we have been asked to send happy birthday greetings and prayers to my nephew, Jonathan Myrie. Proudly coming from his loving aunt, Rose Myrie. And they also would like to send happy birthday greetings to my lifelong friend, Mrs. Norma Scott, whose birthday is today also. And again, those birthday greetings are coming from Miss Rose Myrie. So happy birthday greetings to Miss Norma Scott and also to Mr. Jonathan Myrie. So folks, I'm going to have about 4 minutes left. I'm going to share with you the remainder of this press release. So it says that there are studies from countries with robust vaccination programs, screening programs, and registries that show that the HPV vaccine is essentially erasing cervical cancer amongst those who have been vaccinated. That is an explanation given by Ms. Felicia McLean, the Chief Nursing Officer. And she goes on to quote, "As we work to strengthen our vaccination program, standardize screening programs, and introduce the registry, we too will be situated to measure the real impact of the vaccine within our community. However, the global data is compelling, and I continue to urge parents and young people to get vaccinated. The vaccine is available free of cost via the Public Health Department and can be administered at schools upon request with written parental consent. More information on the HPV vaccine, including the school vaccination program, can be obtained from the Public Health Department. Their number is 244-2648. Our ministry team has been working hard to modernize and strengthen the framework that will support all aspects of this work." That's a quote coming from Chief Officer Ms. Tamara Ebanks. She also added, "The National Health Strategy and Plan, for example, will pull together all cancer-related work under a national work stream, as well as make connections with work relating to other non-communicable diseases, care pathways, and standards of practice. Along with improving the overall quality of care, this work will reduce costs and the overall financial burden on not only individuals, but the nation as a whole." Just want to say very quickly, before we go to our 8 o'clock news, that this is commendable. We need people to cooperate as much as possible, participate as much as possible. And please do not listen to those naysayers out there, those persons who post things on social media platforms that are uninformed or ill-informed to dissuade you from taking the correct and necessary action. We all need to do our part. With that, folks, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. When we return from the news, we will have in the studio with us Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Honourable Kenneth, Bryan, as well as the Member of Parliament, Mr. Roy Tatum, who represents the constituency of Red Bay in our Parliament. Red Bay, do you know where Red Bay is? That was a discussion on Talk Today yesterday as well. And folks, it is important that we know our history, because if we don't know our own history, what should we expect? With that, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. The Health Ministry is marking World Cancer Day by highlighting a new push to improve cancer prevention, treatment, and data in the Cayman Islands. Officials say a national cancer registry is being developed to better track how cancer affects the community and to guide policy. At the same time, they're urging more people to get the HPV vaccine, which help prevent several types of cancer. Chief Nursing Officer Felicia McLean.
There are studies from countries with robust vaccination programs, screening programs, and registries that show that the HPV vaccine is essentially erasing cervical cancer among those who have been vaccinated.
The vaccine is free through the Public Health Department and can be offered in schools with parental consent. For details, call 244-2648. The Central Planning Authority is meeting today with several major projects up for consideration. Airport Plaza is pitching an application for a 21,000 square foot office and retail building campus with 2 buildings on Old Joe's Way in Georgetown. The Department of Environment flagged an application for 4 townhomes off Austin Colley Drive in Colliers, which is near the Colliers Reserve, one of the few areas where the endemic blue iguana typically lives. The Port Authority is back for another guardhouse extension request after getting approval for a 210 square foot extension back in June. This new one is for a further 261-foot expansion at the Container Depot in Georgetown for a restroom, office, and access ramp. Salty Investment is requesting approval for a proposed boat storage garage and gym on the land side of South Sound Road, just east of Winter Haven Condos. It's currently housing a horse corral and various ancillary buildings. There are also 4 after-the-fact applications before the board today. You can find the full summary at planning.ky. And the 2026 National Chess Champions have been crowned. Here's CIGTV's Kavar Augustin.
In the Absolute Championship, Mike McDonald claimed the title with a strong 7.5 points from 9 games, finishing ahead of Ryan Blackwood and Kuda Kwashin Chinaki in a highly competitive field. In the female championship, women candidate Master Zara Majid delivered a standout performance, scoring 8 of 9 to secure the national title. The championships feature the country's top players and were hosted once again at the John Gray High School.
Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller.
BBC News with Justine Green. The latest round of US brokered talks on ending the war in Ukraine is underway in Abu Dhabi. Expectations of a breakthrough are slim. The Kremlin has insisted that Russian troops will keep fighting until Kyiv makes decisions that could bring the war to an end. Red Cross officials in western Nigeria say the number of people killed by gunmen in Kwara State has risen to almost 70. Others are still missing following the attack on Wero village, where armed men set fire to shops and the residence of the traditional king. Palestinian hospital officials say overnight Israeli airstrikes in northern and southern Gaza have killed at least 17 people. Israel said it had retaliated after its forces were fired upon in a violation of the ceasefire. The US Secretary of State Marco Rubio is due to open an international meeting aimed at securing access to critical minerals. The International Energy Authority has said the security of renewable energy products will depend on countries agreeing to share such mineral resources. India's trade minister says his country will be diversifying its energy sources amid changing global circumstances. It follows the announcement of a trade deal by President Trump, who said India would halt its purchase of Russian oil, although there's been no confirmation from Delhi. The World Food Programme has suspended operations in another part of South Sudan after one of its river convoys was attacked and looted. Boats transporting more than 1,500 tons of food assistance were targeted in Balliet County. Pope Leo has called on Russia and the United States to restart negotiations on nuclear arsenals as the last such arms control treaty expires. He said the world situation required the two parties to do everything possible to avert a new arms race. Saudi Arabia plans to issue passports to the kingdom's millions of camels. It's to help manage the country's prized herds. BBC News.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
The Lions Club of Grand Cayman, Delano Hislop Pace, 5K and 10K Walk Run is back on April 12th. Whether you're trying to stay a bit fitter, looking to invest more time in your community, or just looking for a reason to get out in the sun, the Delano Hislop Walk Run is the perfect opportunity to keep your goals in check. Visit the Lions Club Facebook page for registration details. The 2026 Delano Hislop Pace Walk Run, Sunday, April 12th. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman, proudly serving the community for over 50 years.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 74 degrees. Relative humidity is 84%. The barometric pressure 30.15 inches and rising. The wind is northeast at 8 knots. Overnight low temperature was 70 degrees. Synopsis indicate increasing low-level moisture coupled with lingering clouds over the region will allow for some rainy conditions at times through the next 36 hours as the remnants of a frontal boundary begin to drift back across the Western Caribbean. Marine conditions will continue to gradually improve throughout the day, with the small craft advisory to be discontinued by this afternoon. Satellite imagery show overcast layered clouds across the northwest Caribbean. Now the forecast for the Cayman Islands for today, calling for cloudy to overcast skies with periods of rain and scattered showers at times. Some showers will become locally heavy at times, and temperatures will be in the upper 70s. Winds east to northeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas moderate to rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet. A small craft advisory remains in effect until this afternoon. Tonight we can expect overcast skies with rain and scattered showers, and some showers will be locally heavy at times, and temperatures falling to the low 70s tonight. Your winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots, becoming north to northeast by daybreak tomorrow morning. Seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Today's high tide will be this morning at 8 minutes past 11, low tide this evening at 5:29, and a high tide again tonight at 11:42. The sun will set this evening at 6:19 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:59. And the outlook is calling for a cold front to enter the northwest Caribbean by late Thursday, decreasing shower activity thereafter, and the front being less impactful than the last system is expected to continue moving through the Cayman area and eventually becoming stationary east of Jamaica by late Friday. The associated high-pressure system will bring some fresh to locally strong to north to northwest winds, rough seas, and noticeably cooler temperatures. A small craft alert will be in place for Thursday night. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
Let's hear it for your Wildcat cheerleaders.
Aunt Angie, weren't you a cheerleader?
The best in the Western Hemisphere, until I attempted that switch kick double twist roundhouse.
Huh?
Exactly. I must have been in the air for 20 seconds before I fell into that snare drum. I set a world record, though, and thankfully I could trust the CG Medical Portal with my claims. All 37 of them.
The CG Medical Portal. Safe and secure. CG Britcay. Good like that.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
This Ash Wednesday, February 18th, celebrate harvesting harmony at the 57th Annual Cayman Islands Agriculture Show from 7 a.m. until 6 p.m. Food, farming, culture, and community come together at the grounds in Lower Valley. Hosted by the Cayman Islands Agricultural Society and the Ministry of Agriculture. This one-day extravaganza is packed with Caymanian pride, family fun, and great prizes to be won. Don't miss it. Follow Cayman Agriculture on Facebook and Instagram for all of the details.
Sponsored by the Department of Agriculture, Pepsi, Quality Feed, Ale Thompson's, Terra Vegetation and Maintenance, and Radio Cayman.
Sports. Stay up to date on your sports news with Radio Cayman Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., 6 p.m., and 10 p.m. It's all about sports.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning. Let's take a look at what's happening on our road, see what's slowing, what's flowing. Coming from the east, heavy traffic on Shamrock Road, also on the Linford Pearson Highway and coming off of Bobby Thompson Way and continuing on to Holder Avenue. Delays expected. Cool Road, slow-moving traffic. As you look to downtown Georgetown on Edward Street, flowing at a moderate pace. And into Georgetown on Shedden, looking pretty good. There was an accident earlier in the vicinity of the Butterfield Roundabout, but I think that's cleared up. As we look to Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, traffic is flowing at a moderate pace. Coming from the West Bay 4-way stop, flowing pretty good. And on the West Bay Road, a little steady traffic heading towards the Georgetown area and heading towards the West Bay area in front of the Ritz. Traffic is moving at a moderate pace. Now, if you see any other accidents, let us know by calling us at 949-6990. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic. Remember, click it or ticket.
Feeding a crowd? Subway Catering makes it easy. Choose from freshly made sub and wrap platters in 2 sizes, or go for individual boxed meals, complete with a 6-inch sub, cookie, and chips. Perfect for groups of 15 or more. And don't forget dessert. Our freshly baked cookie platters come in 2 sizes, so there's always enough to go around. Visit www.subway.ky to view our catering menu. You can call or email us to place your order. Then choose to pick up in-store or get hassle-free delivery. However you cater, we've got the fresh flavors everyone loves. Subway. Eat fresh. Cater with ease.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
On a daily basis, making it easy to connect with you, our listeners. Add us to WhatsApp today, 925-3261. That's 925-3261.
Radio Cayman.
Send a text or voice note.
Message us at 925-3261 on WhatsApp today and get active with Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
Craving something bold, juicy, and packed with flavor? Introducing KFC's new crispy barbecue sandwich served on a soft, buttery brioche bun. That's 100% KFC premium chicken breast, perfectly crispy, deliciously smoky with crispy onions, cheddar cheese, and barbecue sauce. Just the right amount of messy in the best way possible. Stacked with layers of bold KFC flavor, this sandwich is your new obsession. But hurry, it's only at KFC for a limited time. So what are you waiting for? Get yours today at any of the 3 KFC locations on island. KFC, finger licking good, just got bolder.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio yet. While we await our guests, phone lines are open. Our toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990. WhatsApp number 925-3 8261. Now, I can go in several directions with this. I can talk about the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service announcing that the reintroduction of community policing officers across Grand Cayman. That was a press release that was issued on the 2nd of February. I can talk about the viewpoint in the Cayman News Service on the Cayman News Service website on economic analysis of public healthcare failures in the Cayman Islands. Or yesterday I was having a conversation with someone, and they had been alerted to the fact that Caymanian, quote-unquote Caymanian, had been arrested by ICE in the U.S. and had eventually been released by a judge on a bond, $20,000 bond or something of that nature. And the person pointed out that they're concerned about Caymanians who, and we as a people, had a really, really stellar reputation for leaving countries when our time to remain there expired, mainly in the U.S., and the fact that we treasured and continue to treasure the waiver program that we have in place, that was put in place years ago, all done by our politicians then, including our national hero, Mr. Ormond Panton, and how these, the issue of BOTC passports, that Cayman Islands, BOTC passport Cayman Islands, that allows persons to travel without a visa, but with that waiver, may be jeopardized by those persons who no longer or who never had the values that we as Caymanians had in terms of preserving privileges that have been extended to us by other countries and their concern. So we could talk about that and the fact that as long as we have the system of permanent residence in place in Cayman, then that is where the British Nationality Act kicks in and allows a person, if they've been here for 5 years, free of any restrictions on the time that they may remain, which includes permanent residence. For 1 year, they can apply for that BOTC passport. We have no control over it. The only control that we have is we can decide who and when we, or if we want to continue to offer permanent residence, and rather than just permanent residence, make people go straight to status as well. 2 callers. Let's grab the callers. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, Jose. How you doing?
Hey, good morning. I'm fine. How are you? How's the weather over there?
Oh, the weather's good. It's cold this morning, but it's raining. Okay. But yeah, Jose, I know we never had so much sunshine in the last couple of days, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we normally have good sunshine here in the Cayman Islands.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Okay, now, I'm coming back to my stallion again now, because what happened in the dark, it must come to the light. Now, I've been back and I campaigned for this 6 years gone. And before I officially got nominated and ran for election, I campaigned for this. Activist, or what we will call it. That we could start our industry here for medicinal marijuana, growing it, processing it, bottling it, and everything could be done here. But the marijuana extract, it was coming through Canada. Now it's coming from a company called Jake Canna out of Jamaica, because listen to read, you can pull it up, my friend.
No, I read it, and when I read it, the first person came to mind was you.
Okay, so you see that I'm up on these, right?
There's very little that I miss.
All right, well, but you're not going to bring that up. I mean, that's all right. That's your priority. Now, Brother OC, now, the real part that that hurt me. When they say they want the one that grow in the sunshine, well, I say, well, dear Lord, you mean our sunshine came on now no good? They don't want to put a tourist?
Mm-hmm.
No, that is a shame. Because that's a industry. Or see, you know what I like to do? Because I can't get on a computer and things like on a guy, but I can get somebody to FYI to find out how much money that the medical people are making out of medicinal marijuana, and it's growing each and every day. And for some reason, and we talk about this farming thing, but how do you get marijuana in a farming?
Yeah.
It's a medicine.
If in terms of your request, I may caution you that the way you may want to do it is to find out from the government the value of medicinal marijuana that is brought in, because the individual companies don't necessarily have to give any additional information to government, but Customs and Border Control would know the value of goods that are imported. So that would be the way that you may want to pose your question, the value of medicinal marijuana that has been imported into the Cayman Islands when you query it.
Thank you, Mr. Ozzy. Thank you very much for that information. Well, you see, if you ask, they say if you ask, you will get help, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also, no.
And I'm not as biased as you think that I am against marijuana.
Well, is you using the medicine yet?
I have drank the tea over in Jamaica before, not here.
Yeah, but obviously, history has it that no one has ever overdosed on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because trust you me, see, I have smoked my share. The only thing I never done with it was bathing it, right? Yeah. And see, remember, I go and appeal it this morning.
Okay.
You remember I told you that they caught me with a bit of marijuana, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, I went to court and I don't waste time. And I pled guilty. And the judge charged me $1,000 and $450 for the lab test. So I told her, the last time I got caught with marijuana, that was 7 years ago, and the climate had changed a lot since 7 years ago, right? With the referendum and all that, people are talking different. And I asked the judge if there could be no record, I'm recording no criminal record.
Mm-hmm.
She said no. So I said, well, I have to wait another 7 years again for a clean police record? She said, yes. So I said to her, Your Honor, with all due respect, I have been reading over and over with foreigners coming to the island, they get fined, they pay this, and there's no criminal record recorded against them. See, days ago, it hurt my feeling. The judge looked me straight in the face and said, Mr. McKeever, you are not quite a foreigner. I said, thank you, ma'am.
Wow.
I'm a full Caymanian. Now, see, that is a hurtful thing. It's a wrong thing for a judge to do, in my honest, humble opinion. That is being rude, right?
Do you plan on appealing that part of it, or because you pled guilty, you're not allowed to appeal that portion of it? Are you going to take any legal advice on it?
Yeah, but I just want no criminal record recorded. I asked the one, but I told her the last time I was on the road doing what nobody wouldn't do, picking up dead chicken, dead cats, and all that. Cause people just walk right over them. I see people going to church, and the cat dead almost in front of the church, and they just turn in and go. I go, thank God they did alive, but the cat on the road dead. Anyhow.
Thank you.
Thank you for the advice, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We're going to try to grab, how many more callers we have, Miss Susan? One more caller. We're going to grab that caller before we go to a commercial break and then introduce our guest. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C.
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, I wanted to call in earlier, but I don't know, for some reason it slipped me. But I just put on the radio and for what I wanted to call in, and you kind of like stole a little bit of my thunder.
Yeah.
But I can still continue, and then you can advise me or tell me what we can do. Also, in the last couple of days, I have understand that an individual was picked up by ICE, the immigration
and customs enforcement
enforcement in the United States. I'm hearing that individual have traveled with a Cayman passport. And I get to find out that not necessarily that person is a generational Caymanian, but the person is there, and he was detained for like 1 month, 2 months, something of the sort, and then let out on some sort of bond. What I'm saying, because of understand that the person are not a generational Caymanian, but traveling on a Cayman passport, it seems like we have to curb individual just coming here and getting a Cayman passport. After having a conversation with you some time ago, you told me that once you're permanent in the country, you're eligible to apply for a passport under the UK regulations or whatever.
Under
right?
British Nationality Act, yeah.
British Nationality Act. Okay. So what I'm saying, we need to make it much harder for people to just come here and get our passport and travel on it. Because as you know, we got this privilege of being able to waive. I don't think it's too many countries in the world that can waive their own a little office somewhere in their country can just ask for a police record of the individual and then waive the U.S. visa and for you to enter that country.
Bermuda shares.
I don't think it's
similar thing that we have as well.
Okay. Well, not too many other countries have that, right? So I'm fearing that if we continue giving people that not properly vetted our passport, eventually the U.S. might look into withdrawing that pleasure we have of being able to waive their visa to travel. And, we really need that. Sometimes you might even had a visa, but it expired and you have an emergency where you have to go off. So because if you're permanent in the country, you can get our police record, our passport. I'm asking you if it's a possibility that we could do away with permanent residents. If we could do away with the PR and just a person that wants to be here go direct to the status.
Yeah, we can
go direct to status. So if you're here long enough and you qualify for status, that would mean you would be vetted to a point where we would feel comfortable making you then have the passport. So that's my question to you: is there a possibility that we could get rid of PR?
We can either get rid of it because it's our local legislation, so we can eliminate permanent residence altogether and say any person who is not a Caymanian by right, by descent, say that any other person would have to be granted Caymanian status in order for you to reside permanently in the Cayman Islands. Or we could restrict the parameters of permanent residence to certain categories of persons. Let's say, for instance, the spouses of Caymanians, and remove it altogether from those persons who work in the Cayman Islands for a given period of time. And then we say to them, well, you've worked here long enough, now we're going to offer you permanent residence. That is a gesture that we have made, very gratuitous gesture that we have given to people. And the question is whether or not we can continue to afford to extend, such a privilege based on our population and the stresses that are being placed on the infrastructure, of the Cayman Islands. But because the UK has given us control over local legislation, despite the fact that it still has to be assented to by the governor once he or she gets the nod from the UK, they have given us control over local legislation, so we can either eliminate permanent residence altogether or in our legislation, or we can restrict it to certain categories as well. Okay.
I think, because we have given that pleasure of giving people the permanent resident, I think now it's being abused, and yet I think it'll get us into trouble down the road. So I think, like you say, if it's a local decision that to be made, I think we need to start moving in that direction to eliminate that whole process.
Okay, thank you very much for starting that conversation. We have to go to commercial break. This has been shared with me. This is what we need to do here, and I want to thank Mr. Mario Rankin for sharing this with me. He says Sweden is pushing to abolish permanent residence and require migrants to reapply annually. This will include a good character test to be retroactive to a person's arrival. The government believes this may lead to hundreds of thousands of deportations. I don't think that we necessarily want to deport, anyone at this stage. Well, I guess what it says is this could lead to thousands of deportations if the good character portion of it isn't met as well. That is Sweden. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, I will introduce my guests into the studio. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For 50 years, Radio Cayman has been the heartbeat of our islands, informing, connecting, and giving Cayman a voice. From breaking news to community stories, the journey continues. Radio Cayman, 50 years of excellence and still going strong.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Of course, today's Wednesday, the 4th of February, 2026. Wednesday's the day that opposition members come into our studio. This morning, they're into our brand new studio. We have the Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Kenneth Bryan. Mr. Bryan, good morning, sir. Welcome back to For the Record and welcome to our new studio.
Why, thank you so much, Mr. Corner, and good morning to your listening audience here at home and across the world. And good morning, Miss Susan. It's a pleasure to be here in the new studio. It looks amazing. I think I got a little glimpse of the layout of the cameras on Monday when you had the Honorable Minister on Michael Miles.
How did it come across?
It came across good. Different angles, a bit wide, but I think that the operational arm of it will start to tighten up when you get in tighter shots and stuff like that. But that's the technical stuff in the background. I'm not going to complain about that.
But you would know about that being a television personality.
Yeah. That's kind of my old career behind the scenes and in front of the camera. So, but inside is beautiful, and I look forward to being here more often. It's a pleasure to be here this morning. Had some very interesting calls already this morning. I think immigration may take up some of the conversation today. I don't have a particular subject matter to speak about today, but as you know, the opposition is committed to being available to the public to hear feedback from them, ask relevant questions as we continue to monitor what the government is doing and offer solutions to the many issues the country is facing. I would just say that I share the concerns of the last two callers about the international effect on the Cayman Islands of persons traveling with Cayman passports in the U.S. and the reputational damage it can do for us. The last caller was right to say that we have a very unique situation about our waiver program, which was granted to us by the hardworking seamen of the past due to Cayman's small island status, as well as the importance of shipping labor many decades ago. And it's one that the United States have allowed us to continue to have. But it's easy, particularly with this administration, for them to pull that allowance if we're not careful. So I think it's something we definitely should be paying close attention to. And for those persons who are privileged to carry the Cayman Islands passport, please bear in mind that you are representing all of us, and your actions can affect us all in the privileges that we have for immigration, transportation, for leisure into the United States, which is a key trade partner for the Cayman Islands. I think you also highlighted some things that we should review in respect to residency if this continues, because there's an onus on those who become a part of Cayman and carry our national passport, that if you are not able to deliver that and we start to get negatively affected, maybe it's something that we should consider, because when you get permanent residency, I think you are allowed to get the passport
12 months after,
yeah, which is some may say too easy to get, because it comes with significance. Now, obviously, status has more significance because you have rights to the Cayman Islands, benefits from the social welfare system, as well as duty waivers and all the other benefits with it, voting rights, all those kinds of things. But so does the right for permanent residence. So you don't want added issues to come up. The other part is not only about new Caymanians or new permanent residents who are carrying a book, but even our own. I did a quick Google search on Caymanians being affected by the ICE situation in the United States, and quickly saw that there has already been a repatriation back here, from a named Caymanian who've been exposed to significant crimes, and this administration will definitely look at the country, not just the individual, in respect to violations of the immigration policies within the United States. So it's something we have to monitor. But while I wait on my colleague, the member for Red Bay, Roy Tatum, who I know is trying to make his way here, but the traffic is quite severe out there this morning, I wanted to bring up something that I think that we all should be mindful of, and that is the unfortunate ongoing situation in Cuba.
Yes.
I just did a quick refresher on what it means to us as an effect. We all know that Cuba is on the brink of collapse with the Venezuela takeover, as I would call it, from the United States. The oil reserves or supply to Cuba has ceased. I do think there's other countries that have now joined the ranks with not supplying Cuba with the necessary energy reserves to survive, which ultimately means I think we're going to have a significant migration of Cubans out of Cuba and potentially affect the surrounding countries. And we've already seen, I'm not sure if everybody's heard the news, but on Saturday evening, we've had 10 male Cuban refugees arrive in the sister islands of Little Cayman. They have since been transported to Grand Cayman. And I can also confirm that the government has already started prep work for a location on Fairbanks Road. Sadly, it's behind the community upon which I live, where we know the female prison and the detention is at. I heard a lot of heavy equipment work over the last week, and I didn't realize what it was until I went over there myself and saw that they're clearing the area, prepping for the potential impact of many persons coming. Now, I did some background research on the cost. It costs Cayman per person per month just over the last 2 to 3 years. And the estimates are $1,800 per person to house them, feed them, security measures, and so forth. And to put in context, in February in 2022, 2023, the average amount of money that we spent was over $3 million each year. And obviously it was not to the severe levels of Cuban refugees as in the mid-90s, where we had over 1,000 Cuban refugees. Now, I'm not trying to scare everybody, but this is probably one of the more severe circumstances that we've had with Cuba since that mid-1990s episode where people were allowed by the Cuban regime to freely leave if they wanted to. And I think that what we're seeing in Cuba now is quite similar to that significance, where you may have hundreds, if not thousands, of people leaving Cuba in short order if things maintain on the path that it's on. And that means it will impact the Cayman Islands most likely. The governor, Jane Owen, and the deputy governor has already started publicly asking Spanish-speaking civil servants to be volunteers to handle the anticipated spike in asylum seekers. We know that
That's as translators?
As translators, yes. And we know that the Mass Migration Committee has already met this last month, actually we're in February now, to activate their preparations for the major influx. I say all of that to say that Cayman is already dealing with, and the government has already been dealing with, revenue measures and increased fees and taxes on the people, which I know that is on the lips and on the minds of most Caymanians, if not all, about the increased cost of living just from the start of January. And I know that the government can, not for much longer, shy away from this reality. But I think it's now going to be even further a topic, because if we find ourselves in a situation where we're dealing with hundreds of Cuban refugees, the cost associated with it will increase. The current location of the on Fairbanks area, based on the last reports, was they can house up to 180. In the mid-90s, for those who may recall, are old enough to recall, we were housing at that time over 1,000.
About 1,200 and odd, yeah.
1,200 and odd. And if it gets more than 180, and I dare say it easily can get over that, over the 180, what ends up happening is we go into private sector and into our town halls for housing. They get rental markets, going into spaces available in the public. And you may hear about the last 2 years ago where the Cuban refugees and the government rented these spaces and they tore them apart, damaged it and everything. And all of this becomes a cost. Then I start to think about the safety components, because we don't know who these individuals are. Just think about the fact there was 10 males persons who arrived. and not trying to be in any way gender focused, but there's a higher probabilities of criminality amongst males than there are by females.
And not only that, because of the mandatory military service in Cuba, they may certainly be militarily trained as well. So.
Correct. So I'm only saying all of these things to give context for people to think about. I do believe that we're going to have a significant problem with the Cuban migrants. There will not only be concern from a security perspective, but a cost perspective when the people in the Cayman Islands already have concerns about assistance for them. The fee increases recently has increased the cost, and the government has not made the necessary amendments to assist those who are not making ends meet now. Plus, we're going to have extra costs come up. So there's a lot of things to come back in there, but I just thought it would be important that I let the public know that the official opposition is monitoring this closely. Even before it became an issue, you may recall I wrote to the governor about this matter.
From the Venezuela incident.
Correct. So now that it's on our laps, we are monitoring it. Obviously, we're here to support the government in any capacity, but we also have to make sure that we try to reduce this in any way, whether it's international discussions, through the UK reps and so forth. But that's a lot to take in.
Yep.
And
we're going to go to a commercial break. When we return, we will introduce our next guest into the studio, Mr. MP, Mr. Roy Tatum. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. I want to say good morning and welcome to MP, Mr. Roy Tatum. Welcome to our new studio, sir. Good morning.
Thank you, OC. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to my colleague, MP Bryan, our deputy leader, and good morning to the Cayman Islands, Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac, and my constituents in Red Bay. Good to be here with you, sir. Fantastic. It looks fantastic. Really does.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Connor, as I was saying before, we touched a little bit on the Cuban situation, but that's just something that is currently before us, that is in real time and monitoring. But we are waiting on the official opening of Parliament. I'll be talking a little bit about the Youth Parliament, but today I want to hand over to my colleague. He has some very positive things he wants to talk about in developments. And then once we cover those, then we can come back to maybe listening to the public.
Okay, yeah. I saw a photograph of him, at a park.
but before, if I just chime in on the Cuban thing, as we were speaking about off Mike during the break. The concern really, if we remember back to the 80s in the Mariel boat lift, I think that was being referred to earlier on, where Cuba not only allowed Cuban citizens to leave, but they also allowed Cuban citizens who were in jail.
Mm-hmm. They opened up the jails.
They opened up the jails. So what were on those boats that sort of flooded, a boat that flooded Miami, were also criminals, and we need to be aware and conscious of that. So it's a very serious matter if this actually does occur, and it's seeming increasingly like it will. Sorry.
It's okay, Roy. Before we transition into the positive stuff you've been doing in Red Bay, which I'm really excited to have you tell the public. We also have to be mindful that this international relations component of things, the UK has constitutional responsibility for that, and I think it's time for us now, as public and as legislators and the opposition, I promise to bring this back to our leader, to say the UK have to now start putting their money where their mouth is. We're not the ones that are causing these things, and we shouldn't have to be obligated to pay the heavy costs associated with it, or at the very least they should contribute to it. And I think it's important that the UK sit with the United States in their diplomatic relations and discussions about the pressures that they're causing on the Cuban crisis situation, and ultimately what is going to happen to the Cayman Islands. And I think the UK, particularly with their role constitutionally for international relations and security concerns, should step up to the plate and give the Caymanian people some reassurances that this isn't just going to be another burden on cost for them on the taxpayers' money, which we're already paying heavily for. So I give the commitment to, both of us give the commitment to bring it up in caucus with our leader, the Honorable Joseph Hugh, so we can have some sort of position publicly by the next radio show on Wednesday. But with that being said, Roy?
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you brought it, because I had also UK written down, and so I'm glad you brought that up. That's extremely important. Let me jump into some positive things here, OC, and I want to get back to some of the things that you were talking about earlier on, including discussion on cancer. You may have seen, I think what you were referring to was myself and Minister Isaac Rankin and some members of his team, and there was also some persons from a person from the Prospect Red Bay Community Group. That person was in the photo, but they were also there. So we're moving forward with conversations that started last year, trying to get some improvements done to the Eddie Sanchez Community Park. I'm feeling increasingly elated that we're making progress. Right? So the variety of matters under discussion include some easy wins, like in improving signage, so people can see what the park that is a park. The signs there's one sign that's there is rather dilapidated. I think it was meant to be a temporary sign, while the actual signs were made. Some may have been made and may be stored somewhere, but we'll find out. But also signage with regards to parking, or and including when you shouldn't be parking and just leaving your car there. So those quick wins. A court, whether it's a full court or half a court or multi-purpose court, that's being looked at. I believe the intent is for a multi-purpose court. I shouldn't say believe. I know the intent is for a multi-purpose court. We have to see what the space can fit, and lighting and so on. They've been doing hats off to the minister. They have been improvements in terms of the maintenance at the park. I don't have to be calling as often as I used to, or not just me, but the folks from the Prospect Red Bay Community Group who actually monitor it. They would also call if the grass was overgrown and so on. They're individuals now go there on a regular basis, make sure it's being kept mowed and clean and tidied. So hats off. I've seen a lot of improvement there. So hats off to the minister and the folks he has doing that. In terms of there are a number of other initiatives that I have ongoing, which I'm not gonna. I haven't. There's one I think has progressed far enough that maybe the next time I'm here, I can speak to it. But there are actually two initiatives. Both involve young people. I won't speak about those yet. But there's a number of other. I mentioned because I want people to know these other initiatives that I have ongoing. So knock wood. Some events at my office on the 21st of this month, what I call the Team Red Bay, the group of folks who actually work with me within a community, we'll be putting on a car trunk sale at my office from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the 21st of February. We'll be putting out some more information on that. The vendors have already signed up. I think we're waiting for some of them now to come and just pay for the spots with a $25 fee to park at the office. There's a big space out back. That $25 is going towards the Red Bay pantry, food pantry that we have at the office. We've had a number of people. It's been set up, funded so far by what I call my Team Red Bay, funded by them and by me. So some folks have come by and gotten stuff, which is excellent. But we need to now get some additional funding to keep the stock. Mm-hmm. And I'll be looking to try to see what other sources we can get for that. So folks can come by there on the 21st of this month, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of good stuff being sold there for affordable stuff being sold there. The other thing I want to mention is on the 12th of February, Teresa Thomas, who is a member of my committee, a friend and a constituent, she also has a business called Kaleidoscope. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. She makes crafts, the most beautiful bags. I bought a number of them for friends and colleagues and for my family. And she's at the farmers market. It's a shameless plug, I'm sorry, at farmers market on Saturdays. But she wanted to, she's also interested in quilting. And she has a friend who is an expert in this area. On the 12th of February at 6 p.m. at the Red Bay constituency office. And for those of you who don't know, it's at 33 Marina Drive. She'll be holding a session on an afternoon on patchwork and people quilting workshop. The phone number, if anybody's interested in attending that, is 925-4693, 925-4693. Again, that's to attend a patchwork and people quilting workshop on the 12th of February at 6 p.m. And I have made some space. I didn't make the space. The space was there. I've made it available to some local musicians to use for practice. It's used several times a week. What they've also committed to me is that as we move along, so they come in there and they jam. As we move along, we're looking for opportunities to also introduce young people in the community to music through that, but also some free concerts. And so we're looking to I have a date in mind, but I need to firm it up in March, where we'll be doing a free concert at my constituency office, either there or at the park. But I think probably at the office. There's no electricity at the park, so I'll have to rent a generator. But the office has enough space, so I'm looking forward to that as well as a variety of other initiatives, trying to get people to come together, find opportunities for the community to come together, hold some activity, meet, greet, mingle, and have some good conversations, and so on. So I will leave that there and see if anything else was on my list. I think that's it.
Okay, well, one of our listeners wanted to know and asked me to ask you whether or not your pantry can accommodate chilled products.
No, not chilled products, but reach out to us. Call my office 923-5285.
923?
923-5285.
Okay.
Right. That's my... Which one? My watch is talking to me. I hate devices that talk to you. And park that somewhere far away. So, 923-5285 for Vicky, or 926-8446. That's my number. And we can have a conversation about what the items are. We do have a freezer section that's not really used. So if it's things that we could probably keep there, but call and let's find out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mr. Connor, if I can quickly throw out something, if we can, before the break. I'm delighted to announce that a brother, a friend, a constituent, a Caymanian, Jonathan Piercy, has written a book and it is now available across the Cayman Islands. I am so excited. The book is entitled The Power of Light, and he is now the feature of the month at the local Christian bookstore on island at 7 Miles of Grace. And I am excited. I just got the news yesterday, and I want everybody to spread this word because he's one of ours, and he's such an interesting, smart individual. I can't wait to read the book. He's gone through so much, a beautiful journey and a wonder of interest. I can only imagine what he's going to write in that book. And I want to encourage everybody to purchase his book. It's called The Power of Light, Deception of Darkness, God's Desires, which is written by Jonathan Piercy. And if you want a copy, you can contact 327-6453, 327-6453, and the bookstore is located at 147 North Church Street, unit number 4, right across from Cashridge on North Church Street. That bookstore will be featuring him as an author for the whole month of February. So again, I want to congratulate him for putting his heart and soul into a story for us to see and go on that journey with him. And I'm excited about reading it. So again, if you can pass this message on, one of our own, Jonathan Piercy, wrote his amazing book, The Power of Light.
Okay, that's wonderful. That's wonderful news. I just want to say I've just checked, and for those who prefer electronic books, I see it available on Kindle as well.
Okay, great. Excellent. Folks, top of the hour, headline news. When we return, the conversation with Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Honourable Kenneth Bryan, and Member of Parliament for Red Bay, Mr. Roy Tatum, will continue.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
It's your last chance to catch this year's Grouper Moon live stream from the team with Reef and the Department of Environment, which is taking place today. They'll take viewers to the Nassau Grouper spawning aggregation underway in Little Cayman. The stream can be watched at the Reef YouTube channel, or you can check out the DOE's social media. In international news, UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer says Russia's attacks on Ukraine's energy sector Monday night, as temperatures dropped to -4 degrees, were, quote, barbaric and particularly depraved. He made the comments after speaking to U.S. President Donald Trump hours after Russia hit power plants and critical infrastructure in the capital, Kyiv, and elsewhere. It comes at the end of a week-long pause that Trump had asked Russia's President Vladimir Putin to observe as a fierce cold swept across Ukraine. Trump told reporters that Putin had, quote, kept his word and that he would like him to end the war. U.S. officials are meeting Ukrainian and Russian negotiators in Abu Dhabi to discuss details of a peace plan. And Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has moved out of his home in Windsor to the Sandringham estate in Norfolk. The former prince left Royal Lodge on Monday night and is currently living at Wood Farm, while his permanent home undergoes renovations. Buckingham Palace has said the move would happen in early 2026, but the fallout from the latest drop of Epstein files appears to have sped up his departure. Pressure has been building on Mountbatten Windsor to give evidence in the U.S. over his relationship with the pedophile financier. He has always denied any wrongdoing. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
At HSA, we strive to provide the highest standard of care with compassion, integrity, and dedication. And so we say thank you, Cayman, for continuing to make us the most awarded organization on island by voting us the best of Cayman Islands in 9 medical categories. Your support reminds us why we do what we do, to serve the Cayman community with kindness and excellence. To find out more about our award-winning services, visit hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or belly fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. My pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning the Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Honourable Kenneth Bryan, and Member of Parliament for the constituency of Red Bay, Mr. Roy Tatum. Before I throw the mic back over to them, we have been asked to send birthday greetings to Barry Ebanks and Jenna Lee Smith. Both Barry Ebanks and Jenna Lee Smith are celebrating their birthdays today. So, happy birthday greetings going out to Barry Ebanks and Jenna Lee Smith. I don't have permission to say who it's coming from, but once I get that permission, I'll tell you who it's coming from. The person has put their name on the bottom, but I always like to ensure that I have permission to call their name as well. But I can call Barry Ebanks and Jenna Lee Smith's name, who is celebrating their birthday today. Folks, gentlemen, mic is over to you.
We just want to say on behalf of the official opposition that we want to wish them a happy birthday as well.
Happy birthday.
We're going to transition now to some concerns we're having in the community, but I think my colleague wants to mention something else before we go into that scope of discussion.
Sure.
I just want to add my voice to something as I was stuck in traffic listening to you that you were discussing earlier on, which is today's World Cancer Day. And my mother died from cervical cancer. My brother died from a brain tumor. My father had cancer. That wasn't what he passed away from. But I'm very aware, as many Caymanians are, about cancer. And I am happy to hear that we're moving forward with the cancer registry. I know some of the opposition to it in the past. I'm hoping some of that may have, if not died away, been withdrawn a bit. But that's hugely important that we have a cancer registry in place so we can understand the amount of cancer we have, the types of cancer, and hopefully that will then aid in decisions as we go forward. We need to make sure that we focus on not just prevention, but in talking about preventing cancers, that it also includes education around the risk of cancer. So I won't belabor that point, but I wanted to add my voice to that. Huge, 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 important need in our community, the cancer registry. So I'm pleased that that's moving forward. And I know the first time it was raised, there were some concerns around. I think those concerns really should be withdrawn now, and we can move forward with that. So. I won't belittle anybody's concerns, but this is something that's really needed, and cancer is really it is preventable if caught early enough. Right, so I'll leave it at that.
And I'll just give you a little bit of historical perspective also. 1964, 1965, somewhere around there, in the early 60s, in Cayman, and this was reported in the Trade Winds newspaper. There was a cancer survey that was initiated in Cayman.
Oh, okay.
So we're looking at 61, 62 years ago, and we still, haven't achieved what we need to achieve, in that. But yet we talk about progress in the Cayman Islands and how far we've come.
Well, we have to continue to grow, and I know the official opposition is committed to that. And if there is anything that the public, non-profits, organizations think that we can do better in the opposition, we're open to listening and putting our weight behind it in any capacity and rolling up our sleeves and assisting. Mr. Corner, I want to take an opportunity to highlight, unfortunately, some positives and some negatives here in respect to crime and policing. I am happy to announce that we have recently seen the Royal Cayman Police Service have reinstated their community policing officers. I think we all, as MPs, have gotten some notifications from their community beat officers, particularly one for Georgetown Central, one for Georgetown East, and the ones that cover Georgetown. I think, or did you?
No, I was going to say I reached out to the gentleman who was the beat officer. Maybe he's on vacation. I haven't heard back. I would call him today. I did call. I didn't get a response. So he might be on vacation. So I haven't. But as soon as I do that, he was a real dedicated individual. So I'm hoping he is still the beat officer. If not, then I'd like to know who the beat officer is. But I'll find out. I'll find out today, and I'll send a note out to the community.
Well, the good news is that I got a direct call from Commissioner Walton on, I think it was Friday last week. Yes, it was Friday last week, and he just said, he just wanted to advise that they are reinstating the community officers. And then I had a lovely voice note from our community beat officer, particularly in the Tropical Gardens area. And naturally, this is not only for Tropical Gardens, he's for all of Central and all of Georgetown. But, they will throw or highlight the fact that they're there in community group chats. Interestingly enough, it's something that I want to do not only in Georgetown Central, but across the scope of the various communities where they have to use technology to their advantage, particularly WhatsApp groups. It's almost becoming like a neighborhood watch on these group chats. Yes. So, and it is good to create one in various little clusters of communities because it's a direct communication with the beat officer. But I just want to congratulate Commissioner Walton as well as the community beat officers for the commitment to bringing them back on board. I'm going to ask the leader, our honorable leader, Joseph Hugh, to reach out to say, can you give us a full status of what does that mean? Is it everybody's back on? What is going to be the full complement and the end goal here? But it's good to see that they're starting to be re-implemented. I know our other colleague, Roy McTaggart, was also highlighting yesterday in caucus that he's seen his beat officer there as well. So that's good news. Yeah.
So the top thing on my agenda here was neighborhood policing. I want to add to that. I'm extremely happy. It's something I pursued in Parliament. Concerns around the fact that it had been temporarily shut down. The indication in Parliament given was that it would be back in place by, I think it was the middle of this year. But so I'm extremely pleased, and congrats again to the Commissioner. I have a huge respect for the Commissioner. And I'm very pleased to see that it's back earlier than... I was here last week, if you recall, and we were discussing this, and I was discussing the need, so last week, Wednesday, the need for community policing, how much importance I place on it, and the fact that I've been pursuing it, and I was going to give him till a few more months to see where things were at. I'm glad that it's now back in place. So hats off to him. I'm hoping that means that his the exercise he was going through to recruit more police has been successful. And I'm looking forward also to getting an understanding as to exactly where we're at with those numbers. He was at extremely low numbers some months back. You might recall hearing that. I think 2000, I actually brought it here with me, 2019 numbers or something like that, he was saying.
Okay.
They were the same as they had been in 2008, when the population was about 56,000 compared to 90,000.
Yeah.
So happy to see that happen. So congrats.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that means that the force is being the numbers that we need to have in the forces back.
Excellent. So we're going to be going to a commercial break very quickly, though. So Mr. Barry Ebanks and Miss Jenna Lee Smith are celebrating their birthdays today, and you heard the Deputy Leader of the Opposition and Mr. Tatum convey their greetings as well, and those original greetings were coming from the Honorable Juliana O'Connor Connolly that she sent in as well. With that, we're going to go to a commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN Money Transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Before I throw the mic back over to my guests, one of our listeners wrote, and I want to share this with everyone. Good morning, Mr. Connor. In thinking about the possibility of a Cuban refugee influx, the thought comes to me as to how the President of the United States views us. The simple fact that we may be sheltering Cubans who are fleeing is enough to trigger his anger. Then, how does he view the fact that the Cayman Islands are Cayman Islands is one of the largest holders of U.S. debt in the whole world? This is through the hedge funds that are domiciled here, and as far as recent figures show, Cayman is the largest domicile of hedge funds in the world. How does this all sit with the U.S. president? I am uncertain whether that gives us an advantage or just the opposite. So that's an interesting one. And gentlemen, while I still have the mic, at some point in time, I would imagine, I'm not sure all of the things that you have on your agenda, but we would want you to opine on the release that was issued recently, trying to get it here in relation to the roadmap in terms of immigration and work that was set out at that press release as well.
Yeah. Well, we have, obviously, as Shadow Minister for Immigration and Labour, we have been monitoring. Our job is to monitor the various ministers and what they are doing. And as we heard from the Honourable Minister on Friday, his acceptance that it's going to take some time for the implementation of the hope and goals as to this administration, and acknowledges that it's problematic within the resources available within work. Mm-hmm. And what bothers us is that we advised the government at that time that it was overwhelming to do too many things at one time without addressing the root causes of the efficiency within the department. Because without addressing those and then adding more regulatory measures, it's just going to make it even more difficult to deliver the necessary labor components, which is processing of work permits and so forth, permanent residency and all the other things. And even though normally as Caymanians we don't think about that as a big deal, but as an employer, a Caymanian business owner, that lack of efficiency affects you in one way, shape, or form, either by delay of service and products, and delay of and cost of time, and time is money in business. And they're already paying large amounts of money now with extra increased fees and regional and inflation. And we are hoping to hear more of a clearer plan from the minister, though we sympathize with the ability to make these necessary changes in hopes that the government has. This idea of riding the whistle, I don't think really works. I think what they're trying to do, as we quoted, is put on a roof on a house that doesn't have any foundation. You have to fix the problems first before you implement all of these significant measures that will have negative impacts on the business community, which is the lifeblood of many of the fees and taxes that the government collects. So the small business community and larger business community is having a difficult time navigating around these new changes, and it's disappointing because they were warned not only by the official opposition, but also by the Chamber of Commerce that one of the primary concerns are that they recognize the government wants some changes by way of policy in respect to labor and immigration, but the concerns were, can you please deal with your efficiencies and your processing first before you add on to that? And then to hear the minister come on and ask basically for patience about dealing with that because they need to fix things is kind of oxymoronic, because we told you not to go ahead and do that, and we were told that they were not rushing it, and now we're starting to see the negative impacts of it. I think the government needs to be more clearer with the public, not only the official opposition in Parliament, but the business community, to know that they're not going to be paying the cost of your experiments, right? Because while you are trying to do whatever it is you're doing, because the plan isn't really clear, they're paying the price for that. And ultimately, we're calling on the minister, the Honorable Michael Miles, as well as the government to be more clear in their labor plan, as well as their immigration plan, which affects the labor component. As I said in Parliament, we are in support of the government's more stringent measures to protect the Caymanian rights to becoming Caymanian by way of status, permanent residency, and so forth. But those are separate and apart from the labor factors, which are having a knock-on effect on cost of living of the average products and services that you receive every day. And nobody's going to dispute now that we're seeing a large increase in cost across the board. So that's what that press release is about. We're trying to be supportive, but at the same time holding the government accountable for this. And the Honourable Minister Michael Miles has a significant responsibility, and we support him in his endeavours, but we have to hold him accountable in respect to that, because we've had much representation, particularly from those Caymanian business owners who are saying things are bad and it's rough, they're not getting things done fast enough, and it's costing them more money. So that's what that is about.
Okay.
I'll just chime in with these thoughts. I remember, I think it was during the budget debate, after the minister made, I think all the ministers made a brief statement prior to questioning by the opposition. And he spoke about improving efficiencies. I made 3 or 4 attempts for him to spell out what that meant. And I did not get an answer. I had an answer, but it was not. At one point I said to him, we're talking apples and oranges. You keep referring to the upcoming changes. But I'm talking about actually, you say making efficiencies within work. What are those efficiencies? And I then asked, after I wasn't getting very far, I then asked, well, is one of those going to be improving enforcement? And are we looking at hiring on more individuals to make sure that whatever we're doing in terms of new laws, that we have the ability to enforce it? And the response was no. So I'm hoping now that there's an understanding that things aren't as I remember hearing the government say or the minister say that we might not get everything right, but we'll come back afterwards and fix it. Those things you rush and get wrong, as my colleague just said, impacts people, impacts their lives, and impacts if you have a business, can actually cause a business to fail if we're not careful. So that old saying I used to hear my construction days, an old carpenter who had me under his wings used to say, "Roy, my son, the old expression, measure twice, cut once." So I will leave it at that. But I'm glad to see that there's an understanding finally that we need to measure twice and cut once, and we'll see where we go from here in terms of whatever the changes are coming.
Because the bill that was passed, none of that has actually come into effect yet. And won't come into effect until March. So the only
if it does,
the only impactful thing at this point in time really is the increase in the minimum wage. Not even. I'm not sure. The licensing fees and stuff like that, are they?
Yeah, well, they're coming in March, and I think you heard the Honourable or the Chief Officer speak to that and about those fees. And interestingly enough, they were back on here on Monday again as a shadow minister. They know I'm watching closely as to what is being said. And I'm hoping, honestly speaking, we are hoping that the government reconsiders some of these fees, because you were right to say that the fees that are anticipated to come have not hit yet, and we're already seeing the business community preparing for that by changing their price points to be able to deal with it. Now, some people may say, well, okay, they shouldn't bring it up yet, but a business have a right to prepare itself, in my humble opinion. But also, you got to recognize if you have cost increases to business without legislation for price control, the business have every right within law to just pass on those expenses onto the consumer by either way of deliverable of their services or their products that they sell, whether it's food, goods, shoes, cars, gas, clothes, cleaning the yard, cleaning your house, taking your children to school, whatever it may be, or even teachers for that fact. And we're already starting to see that, and I'm concerned, I must say, and I think we all share this in the opposition, that this is just the first start to even further inflationary matters. And between now and in the middle of this year, I think we can see it more significant than it is in the very first month, now going into the second month, because people are complaining. And I don't want to focus too much on business. But people have to recognize that if we don't think about what the business community is going through, they are the people who hire our Caymanians. They are the people who sign the checks that pay the salaries of our people. So we do have to be mindful of the effects on the business community, because some people, I know many times, are like, oh, you only care about the business community, but you have to care about all factors because it's an equal balance act that we have to do.
But I agree with you, but as do you, I have a fair bit of Caymanians with small businesses in my constituency. So those are Caymanians, and yes, they hire people. So we have to care about them.
Yeah, that's ultimately what we're saying. But for those who try to paint the picture of it, OC, if we can, I want to now focus on the unfortunate circumstances that we're hearing. Okay.
Why don't we go to a commercial break?
And then we come back,
We won't have to interrupt to go to that break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Babe, not tonight. You keep poking me and I need to be rested for meetings tomorrow.
What? I was almost asleep. That's the mattress spring I keep telling you about, not me. We really need to get a new mattress.
Tossing and turning, back hurting, can't sleep? It might be time to turn in your old mattress and go to bed with a new one. Browse the huge mattress showroom at Brand Source Home Gallery and pick the perfect mattress today. With mattresses to suit every budget, Brand Source Home Gallery stocks a wide selection of sizes and styles like pillow top and gel memory foam. So stop tossing and turning and sleep better tonight with a new mattress from Brand Source Home Gallery, Dawson Drive, Industrial Park.
Hey, K-Man, we know you love driving, but not sitting in traffic. This Ash Wednesday, skip the bumper to bumper and take the Agriculture Show Park and Ride. Park easy, hop on, and let someone else do the driving straight to the grounds. Shuttles will run continuously from 4 locations all day. Follow Cayman Agriculture on Facebook and Instagram for all the details.
The annual Agriculture Show is hosted by the Cayman Islands Agricultural Society and the Ministry of Agriculture and is sponsored by the Department of Agriculture, Pepsi, Quality Feed, Ale Thompson's, Terra Vegetation and Maintenance, and Radio Cayman.
Hey, this is Honorable Minister Michael Miles from Caymanian Employment and Immigration. On behalf of the Cayman Islands government and the people of the Cayman Islands, I extend a heartfelt congratulations to Radio Cayman in celebration of your 50th anniversary. For 5 decades, Radio Cayman has informed, educated, and united our community. Happy 50th anniversary.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have less than half an hour to go in the show. One more commercial break. If you have any questions or comments in the meantime, please send them to us. Our WhatsApp number 925-3261. And during the course of the show, the phone lines are open, gentlemen, as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so the phone lines are open as well. Toll-free number 1-800-534-8255, 949-8037-949-6990. WhatsApp 925-3261. Gentlemen, back over to you.
Yes, thank you again, OC. And I think it's important that for those who are listening and assisting us by sending us information, we thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to have backup resources. I just found the announcement by the Royal Cayman Police Services where they announced the reintroduction of the community policing officers across Grand Cayman. The Royal Cayman Police Service is pleased to announce the return of the dedicated community policing officers to their respective beats across Grand Cayman. This marks the end of the temporary consolidation period in which community officers, the majority of whom were from Georgetown, were redirected to support core frontline services due to staffing constraints in September of 2025. So again, congratulations to the Royal Cayman Police Service and Mr. Walton for getting that back up in play. I won't go through all of that, but I'm quite sure the police will come on and represent themselves. But they have the list of the names of officers for Georgetown, Bordentown, West Bay. If you have any concerns, you can always go to the Royal Cayman Police, rcips.ky, to look for community officers and find out more details there. But I want to now go into the more...
I noted, though, that the one that mentioned, the gentleman who used to be in my ear, just mentioned Prospect, didn't say Prospect Red Bay. constituency. So that's another thing I plan to clarify.
Well, Mr. Walton, I don't want you to get on the wrong side of my good friend.
No, man, you won't get my wrong side. We're
so let's see if we can get that sorted. I'm quite sure it's just a oversight, and we'll get it addressed. Mr. Corner, unfortunately, on Monday night we had another robbery of a convenience store in the Savannah area, across the street from Countryside.
And then there was a report of one on Walker's Road as well. I don't know if that was true.
I haven't got any.
Walker's Road was the convenience store.
Opposite Vigoro Nursery.
Yeah. The one by Countryside was a
liquor store.
A liquor store.
Oh boy! So it seems that we are starting to see a bit of a spike in the robberies, and this one was done by Knife Point on Monday night. Mm-hmm. So it seems there were 2 Monday night, and I do recall another gas station robbery on January the 14th where a gun was brandished, and then and I say this lightly, home invasion on Whitman Seymour Drive where 3 armed men brandishing firearms, demanding cash and jewelry. There's suspicions on that one that it's not necessarily a direct home invasion, but people went into a person's private home. But there may be other parameters surrounding what that's about, as into the activities within the home.
Okay.
I don't want to speculate. I'll leave the police to make their own announcements. But the point is that in the first month of the year, we're starting to see some spikes in severe crime. And these types of crime are not domestic. It's not, gangs fighting against each other where there's malice. These are people who are committing crimes for valuables, for monies. And this is where I start to concern ourselves with the increase in cost of living, because when people are not able to make ends meet, the sad truth is, whether it's Caymanian or non-Caymanian, we'll start to do things like this.
Mm-hmm. But there are those who simply don't want to make a living otherwise than by through
criminality.
Criminality.
No doubt. But you can't ignore the correlation between, say, for example, crime spikes around Christmas, where you need more money to do more things. So whenever there's a more need for money or finances, you see an increase in criminality. So I'm not going to shy away from the reality that if the cost of living goes up, the high potential chance that criminality will increase, particularly when it comes to robberies. Studies will show you that anywhere. I'm happy to support it by giving you some data research.
Sure.
But the other thing that is becoming more of a concern is that we're starting to see a lot more prowlers in the neighborhood. We've had a number of reports to the various elected members on the opposition side, I'm not sure about the government side, of people seeing prowlers. And obviously in today's technological world, everybody has a door ring bell, a door ring, or cameras across their homes. And most people are secured in keeping their property locked up, like their cars. But some people, they leave the car open, and it becomes a target for prowlers. And we're constantly starting to see more and more of that happening, and we're getting more reports of it.
In my neighborhood, sorry to interrupt you, but we were discussing some of this last week, see if you recall. And I mentioned that in my neighborhood, there were 2 bicycles stolen, that they were able to leave your bicycles outside. So that was the fact that we're now starting to see some of that is again, a warning for us to make sure we're doing what we need to keep our property and home secure. So you're absolutely right. I want to just read something, if I could, that I received from a constituent last night who I reached out to once I understood that the property was on the property, the business was attacked, robbed. It says, around the increase in robberies, this is getting ridiculous. I just thank God that nobody was physically hurt last night at our store. They came in with a machete. The mental health of our staff is obviously our main priority right now. Thank God there were no customers in the store at the time of the robbery. No one was injured physically, but again, it can take its toll on you. I mentioned this last week as well, I've had my house many years ago. Someone came in and robbed us. when you go home, you feel violated.
Violated, yes, yeah.
So even though I wasn't present, we felt violated, and you become afraid of going to sleep at night. So I can imagine what it's like if someone actually comes in and actually poses a harm to you. So I'm happy nobody was hurt, but it's a huge matter.
Mr. Conner, I know we have a caller on here, but I want to make sure that although we are highlighting these things as problems, we want to also offer our assistance with the government. We're not here to only highlight problems. The government wants help. The opposition is here to assist in any capacity, any support, any public speaking, standing together with the Premier. I'm quite sure my leader would be happy to do that. But we want to make sure that we don't ignore it because people are being affected by it, not only physically, financially, but mentally as well. We can take the call.
Okay, let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks.
Good morning, sir.
First of all, my friend, Mr. Kenny, I just want to, again, congratulate you to the work you're doing at the Central Georgia, or has been done. It's looking more now like a town as it should have been many years ago. I just hope that I'll get some time to have a word with you, if you don't mind taking my number.
Sure, go right ahead. Give it to me.
Yeah, 949. No, sorry, I got it all mixed up.
It's okay.
928-6923.
All right, I'll give you a call right after the show. 928-6923.
Yeah, but let me reiterate a little bit on what's going on. You know, it's so disheartening to see and listening to what people are saying about the crime. Why we as Caymanians cannot be a little bit more bold-faced, like we see these people coming into your country from other places and doing as they see fit, and look at a Caymanian like he's some other space. What are you doing here? What's going on in this country? Let's face crime head on. We need a different set of police into this country, because we're getting police from the same apple that is dropping under the tree. We need to put this away and get police from different countries who can really police this country. It is sick, it's tiring, and the most disheartening part about this thing, you never hear anything from the public that is accepted. It's only what the officials say or what the high top dogs say. This is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. And it's time that we speak something that people want to hear and people know that needs to be done. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller.
Thank you, caller. I can only respond by saying that it has been a continuous concern for the opposition, and I would dare extend to say even members on the government side, because the hiring practices within the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service is not governed by the elected arm. Constitutionally, any hiring and firing remunerations or benefits are dealt with through the civil service, through the deputy governor. And though there's a shared responsibility with the police commissioner as the chief officer within that component, the only part that we have a say in is actually finding the monies for the operations of police. We do not have any control on the dictating who they hire and what their practices are. We can ask through the governor to ensure that they emphasize on more Caymanian hiring. But it's not only Caymanian hiring. I think what the caller is getting at, and many people have expressed this before, is a balance of not any one particular nationality. It is a concern that I think is a safety issue, because you cannot have one nationality that is the majority that is not of the nation, meaning you cannot have a nationality predominantly in the force that is not Caymanian. And particularly with our Cayman Islands being a melting pot approach, I think a better diversity within the force is necessary. But this is something that has been brought to the attention of the various commissioners and the current commissioner time after time after time. The commissioner has expressed the limitations as to why it's difficult to do that. They shared policing principles within the jurisdiction in Commonwealth jurisdictions, whether it's Barbados, Jamaica, Trinidad, the UK. All we are committed to continuing to apply the necessary pressures, and I say pressure with a small p, to the police commissioner to ensure that he tries to give a better balance on the hiring practices, because we know there's limitations within the Cayman context of persons with experience. But if you have to hire outside of Cayman, make sure it's a diversity, that is no one particular nationality that dominate the Royal Cayman's Police Service. We had to go to break.
Yeah, let's take our last commercial break, folks. And we do have a caller on hold as well. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio, for those of you who are just joining us, Honourable Kenneth Bryan, Deputy Leader of the Opposition, and Member of Parliament, Honourable Roy Tatum, representing the constituency of Red Bay. Before we go to the caller, one of our listeners made this comment and said that when we see upstanding, hard-working people resorting to crime to fill any financial gap, then we are in trouble.
I agree. I think that goes to the point of what you're saying, that people who do criminality normally don't want to work in the first place. But what you can also start to see is petty administrative crimes. So I remember this one story about a young lady who was working at a local supermarket here in Cayman. I won't call the supermarket's name. And in the disclosures in court, the young lady was caught stealing food items. And she said to the judge, "Your Honor, I don't know what happened. I collapsed to the pressures. I just couldn't make ends meet, and I needed to feed my family." And she ended up being charged with theft of food goods. Mm-hmm. Now that pressure built up on being able to survive. And that's when good people start to make bad decisions. Now, that's coming from a different moral place. Now, obviously, those people who are willing to do severe criminality, is already at a certain point of willingness to do certain things. But what I'm saying is that will increase even larger if the cost of living goes up. So
and when you look at the establishments that you target a liquor store,
convenience stores. So you think we have another caller?
Yeah,
right?
we have a caller. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor.
Good morning,
Happy
good
New
morning.
Year to you.
Thank you. Same to you as well. Nice to hear your voice.
Good morning, Mr. Bryan.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Tatum.
Good morning. It really is good.
Two of my favorite people. This I am going to make it known. This is Omiria McLaughlin Gordon.
There's only one person
And
with that voice.
I am a member of Mr. Bryan's committee, a die-hard member. And, you know...
And you read big.
Give me a chance, Mr. Tatum. The Bible says that I will never, ever leave. Father God said, I will never, ever leave nor forsake you. That goes with both of you. Both of you, Mr. Tatum and Kenneth, because my reason being, I have never, ever came across of all of my years in politics. People do not know or they do not guess how old I am, but I'm getting up there. I'm old as I feel, but of all of my years in politics from Warren Conley days and John McLean days, I have never came across a young man. Two people, because Mr. Tatum, you come in and you come in hard. You are moving, and I appreciate the hard work that you are doing in Red Bay, because you are my representative in Red Bay, and Kenneth is a representative for Georgetown Central. I've been on Kenneth committee for quite some time now, and like I said, I will never ever leave or forsake him. And Mr. Tatum, whatever I can do to assist you, you know that I am there also. I try to do my civil duties. But both of you are very and extremely hard workers. Kenny, I take my hat off to you guys, because it breaks my heart sometimes when I see you fight for your people. And, you know, we will have people that are, it's never enough. But let me tell you, you always remember that there's a God above, and as long as you have him on your side, nothing or nobody, no weapon formed against either of you will ever prosper. So, on to continue doing the hard work that I see and witness both of you doing for the country. Right now, there is a lot of people in this country that are suffering. And let me tell you, with all of the new rates and it was expensive enough. It was expensive enough. And with all what is increasing, it's going to be harder for our people. And we gonna have some serious, to talk about crime, we gonna have some serious problems. God knows, thank him for the prayer warriors on this island, because that's the only thing keeping us up and keeping us going. Try to be quickly, but I had to get that off my stomach this morning, because it's going to be serious problems, and I'm praying and asking God to just keep his hands over this little island, because we are going to need every prayer that we can get. We have to turn back to those days when our forefathers and mothers prayed, the churches prayed, and things were 100% better than what it is now. And I pray for the homeless people out there. We can always find money to help every other cat and dog country and sitter, whatever. But my mother used to say, you sweep the dirt out of your corners before you try to sweep it out of someone else's corner. I will end with that this morning. And Kenneth and Mr. Tatum, like I said, my two favorite people, I pray for Anna every day. And I ask God to bless Anna and to help Anna to continue to do the work that Anna has been doing. And Mr. Tatum, you just get in, but let me tell you, you start with a bang, and I hope that them two pot covers keep banging.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller. We have one more. Let's take the call, and then you can respond to both at the same time. We have less than 5 minutes to go in the show. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC.
Good morning.
Yeah, me again.
Good morning,
Morning.
You know, sometimes, and good morning to the panel there. Sometimes when certain individuals call in, it leads me to wonder whether the people they're speaking of, whether they was compensated for saying all those things. You know what I mean? Because some people got to be careful with their wording.
Yeah, nothing is staged on this show.
well, the individual made comments like her two favorite. She never said two of her favorite people. She said she got to be careful because I feed her every Friday, and we grow together. And she tells me about how much she loves me, but she tells me she would never forsake these two gentlemen. But yet I don't see her for weeks, and you know. So I don't know. I don't know if it was staged. You know, because how she was carrying on there just now.
Oh boy!
I think
I don't know what to say about. I don't know what to say about the two of them.
I think you know the lady, and know you know that she's authentic.
I tell you what we're going to do this Friday. I think we should all make a concerted effort to all meet at your house, Graham, and eat some good Cayman.
He's got a huge menu for this Friday.
For this Friday?
Ooh,
perfect.
You got to hear the menu.
So, Gray, let's make it a big thing. Call as many members as possible. I'll talk to my side and ask them to come on down, but I would really like to enjoy a Friday with you with some good food. I actually haven't been there in about 2 months now, no? Since last year.
Okay.
So, let's make this Friday a big deal, and I'll give some contribution towards it as well.
Well, the menu is going to be grouper. It's going to be goggle eyes. It's going to be barra. It's going to be turtle, and it's going to be beef. So we doing like this is the first time back for the year, so it's going to be a big thing. But I want to throw something out there for you guys. You don't have to answer me right now, but what is your take? You guys take on eliminating the PR system, and what is your take on trying to get the high water mark back to where our older folks had it? And I heard you spoke this morning about predominantly police force being predominantly controlled by one group of people. OC can tell you that I've been pushing to get to change that by eliminating most of the Caribbean policemen and bringing in Irish and Scottish policemen with incentive to them for every Caymanian school leaver that they recruit and train, and anyone else that they recruit out of the community. So that's my take on the police. So you all can answer that when I hang up.
Thank you.
Yeah, see you on Friday.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Connor, because I know we're going to run out of time quickly, I'm going to try to respond to both of them. I'm not going to give a position today on those three matters. I'll happy to speak about it in caucus with my leaders' instructions with the rest of the members to give potentially a position on behalf of the official opposition, because they do come with some sensitivities, and I don't want to be premature in our thoughts. But as for
make sure we actually have time to consider
the viewpoints on it, because they're significant.
The ramifications,
for the amazing caller before Mr. Graham. I want to say I love you. I want to say I thank you. Your prayers continue to give me encouragement, and I thank you for being by my side all this time. It's people like you that keep me motivated. So I thank you for that. And all the other supporters of ours and those who don't particularly like or don't support us as well. I want to send a big shout out to all the People's Progressive Movement supporters. They've been with us throughout this. We weren't successful in the last election, and they still stay by our side. And I want to encourage you that we are going to be stronger. We're going to improve ourselves. There's a lot of working behind the scenes that's happening for us to change the engine room or fix the engine room, oil it up, and get it revving so that when we start driving, which will be in very short order, you'll hear more from us. I was going to announce a meeting coming up, but I am going to wait till next week, Wednesday, when the leader is on. I think it's best that he announces that. Thank you for continuing to be there with us. And those who may have left us, I know that we need to improve. I know there's things for us to fix, and there's things for us to learn, particularly from the next generation of voters out there. And I want you to know that we are committed to growing with you and changing for you and standing with you. So with that being said, I just want to thank all the callers that called in, and I know that I want to give my colleague the opportunity to do the last closing, but the sympathies goes out to all of those who may have lost a loved one, particularly for my former colleague and his family, Austin Harris. I honestly, the pressures that it takes to be a leader, a member of parliament, and to lose him, it really has affected me emotionally. Even though we weren't on the same side, but he was definitely gone too soon. And I'm praying for his son, his family, his brothers and siblings, and everybody that knew him and loved him. And I lastly want to end my contribution on a positive note. I want to encourage everybody, please go out and buy the new book by one of our own, Jonathan Piercy. And the book is entitled The Power of Light, The Deception of Darkness. Now, you can get this book at the Christian bookstore on Island, 7 Miles of Grace. It's located at 147 North Church Street, unit number 4, which is right across the street from Cashwiz. If you want to call them, you can call them at 327-6453, 327-6453 to pick up the book. I can promise you, Jonathan Piercy's journey will inspire you, will cause you to reflect, and I'm looking forward myself to reading every last word in it. And God bless him in his journey with it. And with that being said, OC, thank you for having me on. I'll pass it over to my colleague.
I want to thank Omeri as well. That was a very nice surprise, Omeri. Thank you for those extremely kind words. That really meant more to me than I can say. And I'll be purchasing my copy of the book this week. Jonathan is a fantastic individual. I work with him at a former bank I used to work at, and I've known him for a long time. I haven't seen him for a while, but I'm happy to know that he has a book out. I will get my copy, and just want to say, join in with the words of the deputy leader. As a party, we will be. You'll continue to hear more and more and more from us. I will be on this show as often as I can. There's a meeting being planned, and what we will commit is to getting back to what the People's Progressive Movement was, which was an organization that engaged directly with individuals. You will see and hear more about that as we move forward. But I've been involved with this party from inception, and Kenneth was there in the early days as well. And we have a strong, long history, and we're going to be around for a long time to come. So with that, thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm going to just read this one, and we can take it up at some other point in time. This person says, good morning, OC and your guest. My comment this morning is that until we address the elephant in the room, that is the lack of a population policy, we will continue to see an increase in deviant behavior and other pressures on all of our infrastructure. And that's coming from Mr. Clydas. He said that. So, folks, I want to thank all of you who participated this morning. I want to thank our guests in the studio again for making themselves available and for being so punctual in terms of every Wednesday being here so far as well. Don't forget to join Mr. Charles Glidden Shallow at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Radio station. Radio Cayman is the voice of